My name is Martin Minga. Tonight we look at the topic of does trust matter in electronic commerce? We want to establish whether businesses and the consumers understand each other. Now, when we talk about trust, what do we really mean? Can you leave your child with a babysitter that you don't trust? Now, you can only do that if you have established a good relationship between yourself and the babysitter. So that strong bond that has been established is a trust, and therefore you can leave your child with a babysitter. When you go to hospital, you agree to a doctor performing a procedure on you or an operation on you. Now, you agree because you trust the doctor. So trust becomes very, very important in human relationship. Now the question is, with the development of e-commerce and the spread of internet all over the world, many customers find it difficult to trust websites. Now, in this video, I'll be looking at the importance of trust in facilitating the promotion of e-commerce. Our learning objectives are to learn about the importance of trust in e-commerce. We will examine the factors that influence business trust. We'll look at the e-commerce model, trust model, and look at what are the real risks that consumers are facing. Now, from a consumer side, why do some consumers fear shopping online? You find a lot of consumers are hesitant to participate in online shopping. Why do they not trust some websites? What is the problem? And that's on the consumer side. That's the perspective of the consumer. They are not shopping, most of them, and that's affecting the growth in e-commerce. What about on the business side? Do you as business, or do business consider trust as an issue or as a problem? Do they trust customers, or do customers trust businesses? Do they trust your website? Are you confident that customers will go to your website? Now, these are the two opposing forces. The business wants to grow its sales. They want to sell more to the customer. And the customer also wants to have access to their goods. But the problem is a question of trust. It's for that reason now why it is very, very important for us to establish the importance of trust in e-commerce. Now, many businesses will ask customers to provide their information, personal information, their credit cards, their names, their addresses, all that information that's more confidential to the consumer must be supplied online if they want to participate to do shopping online. How do you as business guarantee that the information supplied will not then be lost to a third party who will not part to the transaction? Is that the concern of the customer? He wants that assurance that his information will not find its way into the hands of fraudulent people. Now that brings me to the issue of coming up with strategies that businesses can use to ensure that customers have got confidence that their information will not be given out. Now, there are a number of factors that can be considered. When you design your website, there are certain features that can be included to ensure that once the information is given, that information will not be leaked. Or there should be a privacy statement where the company make it clear to the consumer that their information will not be lost. The website should be designed in such a way that fraudulent cannot penetrate that website. It has features that protects and ensure that trust is within that website. The other issue is the issue of misalignments. The developers of systems, when they develop the e-commerce system, must always ensure to take into account the needs of the user. So there should be a relationship so that you do not design a system that will not capture. Let's say a user has a segment of the market that he wants to satisfy. So the developer must take into account the requirement, the need, so that when they develop a system, they've taken that into account. By doing that, it's possible that you will then assure the segment or that market segment that this website is quite protected. So overall, trust, if understood from both sides, from the consumer side and from the business side, it has a potential to facilitate growth in business. It's very, very important for business to ensure that their system is well secured, information given is well protected, so that the consumer will not have any doubt in participating in that system. So the factors that are affecting trust are reputation. So consumers are looking, what is the reputation of this institution? Willingness to customize, frequent of business contacts, and the publicity within that website. So in conclusion, it is very, very important that both the business and the consumer understand each other very well, that business can assure that their website is well designed, all the information is well protected, and always put that privacy clause to protect the consumer, so that if information is leaked, consumers know that they can take the company to court. If you can assure the customer that that statement, then the consumer will have more trust in your website than any other company. In conclusion, finally, my recommendation is that before you design your website, make sure it takes the need of the market and build into that website the features, the fundamental of trust. Thank you very much.